Okay, here's the theory behind the hydrogen peroxide ion thruster. As I call it, the HYDRION thruster. It is a high-power thruster, highly reliable because there's very few, well, no moving parts except for the gases. It's monocomponent, meaning it only uses hydrogen peroxide, and it is a multi-use fuel because you can use hydrogen peroxide for electrical power generation, pure water, oxygen, heat, and many other things. Alright, so here's the idea behind it. This is actually a very simple design. What you got is high-test peroxide, which is just a high-purity hydrogen peroxide. It should be noted it's extremely volatile and will pretty much explode if it comes in contact with certain combustible materials, or if it's rapidly decomposed. So what we're going to do is take the very dangerous H2O2, and we're going to spray it into a chamber in a fine mist form, and then we also have a microwave basically shooting out a beam that gets bounced around inside the chamber. If possible, you want to make sure it keeps bouncing around inside the chamber, just to make sure that all of the energy gets directed towards the H2O2 spray, or mist. So what happens when the H2O2 mist comes in contact with microwaves is it violently, rapidly decomposes. It turns into H2O and O2, but it's steam, H2O, high energy steam, and O2. So also, as that's happening, the microwaves are ionizing the liberated gases and water vapor so that they can be used for ion acceleration. Alright, so rapidly decomposed it and ionized it in one shot without having to use any catalyst like silver or anything like that. Alright, then as it's exiting violently, these charged particles will be focused with an electromagnetic field. You can do this to create a nice stream, or you could probably direct the stream in different directions, but that by itself isn't particularly valuable because it's still 20 times less powerful than conventional thrusters, and that's where the acceleration part comes in. To make it more valuable, a higher energy thruster, all you need to do at that point is add plates, high voltage plates, that attract and accelerate the ionized gases. So you're using ion acceleration as well as the thrust created from the violent rapid decomposition of high-test peroxide. This should be a highly reliable engine because beside the gas, there's very little moving parts. You're pretty much only just pumping a fluid into a sprayer, so there's not much there. I found that H2O2, basically you can distill it with a vacuum system. Well, if this was in a spacecraft, you have plenty of cold and plenty of vacuum up in space to be able to create, well, I shouldn't say create, but distill as much H2O2 as you want. It just should be noted, keeping a lot of this stored, there's logistical concerns, like the buildup of gas inside the chamber, because it will decompose, even just naturally. So you have to watch the pressure. If it gets too high, it will explode, and also if it gets contaminated, it can also explode. But like I said, you can use H2O2 for many other things, and in space it should be pretty easy to distill it on demand without having to use all the other hard-to-get chemicals for distilling it. You can make very low purity hydrogen peroxide without all those extra chemicals, and then just distill it into something more useful. Anyway, that is the hydrogen peroxide ion thruster.